Hello, everybody. True believers and newcomers alike. This is Charles Gorman with a good friend of mine, Rickie, New York. How you doing, Rickie?
I'm doing good. How are you, Charles?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Today is the day where we finally get to talk about. I know there's been well over a month. If you haven't seen the movie by now, shame on you. It's your damn fault. We're here to review and spoil the living hell out of Deadpool and Wolverine. Probably one of the most highly regarded movies of 2024. So far, it is still to this day the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. It surpassed Todd Phillips' first Joker movie back in 2019, which I enjoyed as well back when it came out. But I think this movie is better. That's just my opinion. But of course, Rickie, before we get started, I see you got a New York Jets thing in the background. I see you got your Avengers T-shirt, which is awesome. Um, so let's get started. So
All right.
where should we start, Rickie? Where should we start? Should we start with the beginning?
I think so. We can just start at the beginning and we'll just work our way right through.
Okay. So I would like to start off by saying me and Rickie both love the shit out of this movie. To us, it's probably the best Marvel movie we've seen since Avengers Endgame when it was released back in 2019. Is it my favorite Marvel movie? No, I'd still give it to Avengers Infinity War. That movie was epic on a whole other scale, but this movie was phenomenal. For the record, I forgot who was directing this movie until I looked at him and said, "Oh, Sean Levy. He did the two Cheaper by the Dozen movies with Bonnie Hunt and Steve Martin, which I really enjoyed as a kid." Sean Levy is mostly
Wait a
known.
minute. Which Steve Martin movies did he do?
He did the Cheaper by the Dozen movies with
Oh, okay.
Bonnie Hunt and Steve Martin. Remember those movies?
Yeah.
I thought those were good movies, but that, of course, is just my opinion.
I'm a big Steve Martin fan, so I like almost all of his movies.
I'm a big Steve Martin fan too. But anyway, he's done a lot of movies, but this was really his first R-rated film, and I gotta say, he really knocked it out of the park. He really knocked it out of the park with this movie. I mean, you can honestly tell he really. What impressed me the most about this movie was how well he honored the source material. Like, yes, Deadpool and Wolverine is a multiversal story, but it incorporates elements from the comics where we see a variant of Wolverine fight the Hulk in an orange and tan costume. Probably my favorite Wolverine suit of all time from the comic books is the orange and tan costume. Love that suit. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love his yellow and blue suit. I love his X-Force suit. I like his new X-Men outfit. But when I think of Wolverine, I think of the orange and tan. That's just me personally. But we even got a variant from the Age of Apocalypse where we had like where he lost his hand and he had like a little fluffy hair and one hand. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty damn good. We even got obviously this was done CGI where we got a 5'3" Wolverine. This is funny. When Hugh Jackman first got casted to play Wolverine, people were like, "What the hell? He's too lean and tall. Wolverine's like short and stocky." Well, Hugh Jackman got in a great shape, and
he pulled it off very well, and they had patch like the variant with the eye patch. I like
that was great.
Henry Cavill Wolverine was awesome.
Oh yeah, and the fact that Deadpool said we're gonna treat you better than those assholes down the street, I was like, that got me right there.
Love it.
And
if I gotta say, that's the one thing that I like about Ryan Reynolds in these movies, the Deadpool movies in particular, is the fact that pretty much nothing is out of bounds. Like he will literally say anything, and I used to be like that as a kid, and as I got older, I learned that sometimes it's just not worth it to say something, even if that is really what you think. However, in this particular instance, I think Ryan Reynolds is coming out and saying what a lot of us are thinking.
Yeah, we just want great source material. I agree with Marcelo 2005. You'd shout out to him. He was the first one to join the chat. He said, no one will be able to play Deadpool like Ryan Reynolds. I agree. This man was born to play that character.
Yeah,
I mean, this is not like his first comedic type role he's done, but this is something that's kind of like Looney Tune-ish. When I think of Deadpool, I think of him more so as a mature rated Looney Tunes character that can break the fourth wall. And Ryan Reynolds has nailed that character perfectly. Granted, he wasn't the first actor to portray Deadpool. Probably some people regard Nolan North as Deadpool because he voiced the character in various animated projects and video games.
Yeah, but no, I'm gonna lean Ryan. Like now, when you say Deadpool to me, I just think Ryan Reynolds immediately.
I mean, when it comes to, I can understand. I totally understand your perspective and opinion. Let's see. Speaking of Hugh Jackman, the fact that this man, at one point in time back in 2017, while Logan, which is probably my favorite of the Fox X-Men films, said that he was done as Wolverine. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of broke my heart a little bit. Because, I'm like, man, there's so much you could do with that character. Like, this was a guy that maintained the role of Wolverine while we had different actors playing Batman, different actors playing Superman, different actors playing Spider-Man, different actors play the Hulk, different actors play the Fantastic Four. Like, we've had so many different actors and actresses play superheroes, play the same superhero. Hugh Jackman was that one constant. Now, granted, he did lose the Guinness World Record to Wesley Snipes, which I think totally makes sense. Because Wesley Snipes did play Blade before Hugh Jackman played Wolverine. Yeah, for those who don't know, Wesley Snipes plays Blade in this movie, and he's amazing in this movie.
And we got a small reunion of sorts because if you remember, Ryan Reynolds was in the second Blade movie.
The third one, actually.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was about to correct myself. I meant third, but yes, the third Blade movie.
Wesley Snipes played Blade in 1998, and I think Ryan Reynolds said that he would like Wesley Snipes to have his Blade get like a Logan send off, or maybe have another trilogy. Personally, I would vote for Wesley Snipes getting another Blade trilogy because honestly, for those of you who do not know, I'm a huge fan of the Daywalker Blade since I was a kid. My first exposure to this legendary, iconic, badass vampire hunter was through the 1994 Spider-Man animated series. But what really sold me on the character was Wesley Snipes in the original Blade movies, especially the first two. I still hold the first two near and dear to my heart. The third one I still got to see in entirety, but from what I watched, I thought it was good in some parts, not so in good parts. But also, we got to see Jennifer Gardner back as Elektra.
Yes.
That, I'm not going to lie, that kind of made me happy. I'm not going to lie, I kind of have a bit of a crush on Jennifer Gardner growing up. I've always had a very fondness and attraction to her. I know she divorced Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck, is who he is. But I thought she's a decent actress, and I thought she played the part to the best of her ability in the 2003 Daredevil movie. Now, if you're asking me, did I see Elektra, the Elektra movie? She did, no, but I heard it was god-awful.
Yeah. I only watched a small portion of it, and I turned it off. However, something that you just brought up, it just kind of reminded me of this when you said it. I caught you, was it yesterday, I think, on Bobby's show, and you had the Spider-Man background.
Scarlet Spider?
Yeah, and you mentioned that, he was one of the original clones made by the Jackal. Well, what I'm about to start reading right now is the Spider-Man storyline that I just ordered it from one of the comic companies, Comic Book Direct. Is the
Clone
storyline
Saga?
the Kindred storyline, Spider-Man and the Kindred, where he could like resurrect people, so he like kills Spider-Man and then brings him back to life just to kill him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed that story, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like I one day when I was online, there was like a YouTube video, and it was like stories that are too dark for the comics or something. And as soon as I started like skimming over it, they were like, a lot of Spider-Man fans, thought that this was too hardcore and too brutal and this and that. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know what? Now I've gotta go and read this now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into that. A lot of people really that I know really hate that whole maximum clonage run, but I didn't really mind it myself.
Hey, man, that's everyone's entitled to their opinion, man. As the saying goes, every man's trash, another man's trash, another man's treasure. Anyways, and Jennifer Garner, I thought I'm not saying she was great as Elektra in the 2003 Daredevil movie, but I thought she tried her best with the character. I think she's a decent actress. Plus, my father and I think she comes off like a very classy woman, But I thought she played the part I thought she was badass in that movie, in Deadpool and Wolverine. The way she was fighting and stuff, I was like, oh, yeah, she's kicking ass. Now, what really made me kind of laugh my ass off was Channing Tatum as Gambit. That man was tied to the solo Gambit movie for years, but it never took off the ground. And the fact that he finally was able to play Gambit in a movie, I'm not going to lie, he was better than that dude from X-Men Origins. That dude from X-Men Origins was not Gambit.
No, I mean, honestly, I've got to be honest here. That was probably the only character in this movie that I wasn't like necessarily crazy about. Not that he didn't look the part, but I don't know, that the Cajun accent that he was trying to pull off, it could have been a little bit better, I feel.
I'm not saying he was great as Gambit, but it was interesting to see him as that character.
Oh, it was cool to see him finally come out as that character, like you said.
And the character design was fantastic. Let's give a round of applause to the costume designers. They worked their freaking asses off in that movie. And I gotta say, he looked just like Gambit from the comic. Obviously, the accent wasn't great, but I thought he was trying his best with the character. And I thought he had some good comedic moments. Plus, it was great seeing him in action, blowing up people with his kinetic cards and stuff. It was really fun. But now, let's get into. Let me just jump back to the beginning. Obviously, it starts with Deadpool digging up the corpse of the Wolverine from his time, aka the Wolverine we all knew and loved from the original Fox X-Men movies, especially the one that died in Logan. And he's like, I'm just like, really? He's using his skeleton to kill those guys? I'm like, that shit was hilarious. And played one of my favorite NSYNC songs growing up as a kid, Bye, Bye, Bye.
Yeah, that was a great scene, a great opening scene. And, I love the way he kind of like leads you into it, where he's saying like, people, you'll be fine. That's how regenerative powers work. And then he gets to it and it's a skeleton. And he's like, okay, maybe not. But no, the lead into that was great. And the fight scene. I mean, his fight scenes are always awesome. It kind of harkened me back to the very first Deadpool movie.
Especially on the bridge.
Yeah, where he's counting the bullets, which also had a good song. But yeah, that skeleton fight scene was awesome.
I also love the scene. I don't know if people are talking about this, but I love the scene where he tries to join the Avengers. And Jon Favreau, who, by the way, used to play Happy Hogan, not Happy Hogan, that used to play Foggy Nelson in the 2003 Daredevil movie, now as Happy Hogan in the MCU. And Deadpool's like, I want to be an Avenger. And Happy Hogan's like, I thought it was going to go so epically bad for Deadpool, but it wasn't as bad as, like, I'm not saying it was going to be a terrible scene. How can I explain this? I thought Deadpool was going to show up in costume like, hi, I'm Deadpool. I'm a mercenary with a mouth. I kill people, and I want to join the Avengers. And Happy Hogan's like, no, get the fuck out. I thought that's how it was going to go, but it turns out he shows up in his, suit and tells like, I want to help people. I want to do this, and Happy Hogan tells him otherwise. And I thought it was so done well that it kind of made me feel bad for Deadpool.
Yeah, it did in a way, and it also it also kind of reminded me of the second Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, where
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, where Tony tells him that he's not quite ready yet, and
you mean the first one, Homecoming?
That wasn't Homecoming. Where he says, why don't you just focus on being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for now? Your heart's in the right place. You can do good things. You're not ready to be an Avenger yet, but just keep doing what you're doing. And it kind of seemed like maybe Happy took a page from Tony's book with how he dealt with that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Now, the main villain, I'm not going to lie, Cassandra Nova was really good in this movie. I don't really know much about her from the comic books. I never really explored that aspect of Charles Xavier's backstory in the comics that much. But she was great. She was terrifying in this movie. And spoiler alert, well, actually, this is spoiler discussion, so fuck it. Right. Chris Evans plays Johnny Storm, which a lot of people forgot. Before he played Steve Rogers as Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he played Johnny Storm, and I thought he was great in the role as Johnny Storm.
I did too.
I'm not gonna lie, and he was great again. Obviously, he gets owned by Pyro because he can control, manipulate fire, which makes sense. And I'm not gonna lie, too, how Wolverine just killed Sabretooth just like that made me go, oh, I thought we were gonna get like a badass Wolverine Sabretooth fight like we did in the first X-Men film back in 2000. But the way Wolverine, and then Deadpool picks it up. This is your Furiosa, bitches. I thought that was hilarious. But how she killed Chris Evans, like, oh my god, she did not just do that.
Yeah, she was brutal, and
she did take no bullshit from nobody.
Yeah, I remember, I went to see the movie with my kid, and when she first came out, he was like, "Well, wait a minute, why is she in the void?" Like, and like as he started to talk, like all of a sudden it dawned on me. I was like, "Wait a minute, man!" I was like, just because she's a woman and she's bald, this is not the Sorcerer Supreme. You're getting your Marvel stories crossed here, dude. That's not who that is. This is a completely different character, and I had to kind of walk him through it because like he started down this rabbit hole, and I had to stop him before he got too far with it. I was like, no, you're getting your characters mixed up. That is not who that is. But dude, I loved it when she like invades the mind, the way it shows like her hand comes through the person's face.
Oh, that almost scared the shit out of
me. That was a really cool effect, and just really kind of drove home the fact that she's like invading these people's heads. Like, that was a very cool scene.
And also, we got to see Juggernaut from Last Stand, which I'm not gonna lie, while the actor did a good job taking over for Vinnie Jones, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that is not friggin' Juggernaut to me.
No, I mean, it's just like a I don't know. That just it's like a guy with a bucket on his head. Like he's like I loved it in the second Deadpool where we got a comic book accurate Juggernaut.
Well, he was somewhat comic book accurate. He was CGI. He was huge. He had a helmet that resembled the one from the comic books. But the problem is, they made him a freaking mutant instead of a dude with magical abilities.
Right.
I mean, seeing him in action against Colossus was pretty good. Until he had an electric cord shoved up his ass, and the rest was history.
Dude, that's one of my favorite lines is when they're getting ready to fight and Juggernaut says, I'm going to shove the red guy up the old guy. And Deadpool's like, oh, I believe him. Oh, man. But yeah, like the... there were so many good lines in this movie, and and like I said, with Ryan Reynolds, nothing's off limits. So it's just, as good as one line, you're just like you can't wait for the next one. Like
I mean, I do agree with Marcelo on this one. Marcelo, excuse me. I don't really feel like we had a compelling villain in this movie because Sandra Nova was very good on screen, but by the climax, she was just kind of still Paradox's plan, and we saw a little of her from there. And Paradox just became comic relief by the end. Yeah, Paradox. I didn't really care for him in this movie. If there was like a little negative, little nitpick I had with this movie, that I didn't really give a shit about Paradox. Like, I thought Paradox was just some asshole that wanted to get like a quick promotion.
Yeah, and he was not a compelling villain or whatever. But I mean, but sometimes, in fairness to the character and in fairness to the material, sometimes you get a bad guy who maybe doesn't have superpowers or sometimes they're just a person who is in a position of authority and exploits it for their own gain.
And that's for Cassandra Nova stealing Paradox's plan. I mean, I get that. But I think she was just very angry and feeling betrayed and so forth. So, but I can understand what you're saying, Marcelo. I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's and I wonder if that isn't kind of like maybe a small preview of what's to come, the way she was going to wipe out, the entirety of the multiverse and leave only the Void, because I think in the long run, that's what's going to end up happening. And the Void is going to be kind of like our MCU version of Battleworld.
I can see that happening.
I think that's the way it's going to end up going down, because, the Void exists in a place out of time and space. And so it kind of makes sense that as the multiverse crumbles, it would be the thing that was left. But I'm not going to get off on that and get too far ahead of myself and get away from
Marcelo says maybe it's a preview to what Doom will try and do. I agree. Maybe that's something Doom will try to do. We'll see from there.
There was a theory by I tend to watch like all kinds of different Marvel videos on YouTube. I'm just a Marvel junkie, so like anytime I see anybody talking about Marvel, a lot of times I will dive in and watch. But there's one guy in particular that I like his videos that he put out a theory, and I have to kind of agree with it. I think what's going to happen is Doom is going to end up attacking the TVA. There's going to be a confrontation between him and Loki, because right now Loki is kind of holding everything together, and he's going to have to let go of all those timelines. He's going to have to let go of all that to fight with Doom. And
that would be. I still have to watch season 2 of Loki, but I heard it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude, it's great. And talk about people that were born to play a character. Man, Tom Hiddleston is just
Oh,
so.
he's one of my favorite characters in the MCU without question.
And this may look like a Jets hat, but if you look close,
It says
which
Loki.
it
I
is,
see it.
it says Loki
I see it. It's good.
because, dude, I've got a cat named Loki. He is absolutely one of my very favorite characters. Love Tom Hiddleston. And the other thing that I really liked about that is if you think about it, where did this whole, franchise start? Like that first epic Avengers movie was Loki versus RDJ as Tony Stark. So to have like it come back like the big climax, the battle of the end of the multiverse being RDJ now as Doom against Loki, it kind of brings the whole thing full circle, you know.
Hopefully,
Uh,
they show Doom's magic powers when he goes up against Loki, because Doom's an alchemist in the comics.
yeah, you know what? I think that's something that has been terribly overlooked in the first two Fantastic Four movies was that side of Doom's character. Like, they in both of those movies, they just kind of portrayed him as being maybe an equal to Reed as far as intellect, scientific knowledge, and they focused on that part of his character, but they never really touched on the magic side of it at all. So I'm hoping that's something that they correct and they dive more into in this one.
Well, Doom is all. Well, I don't say he's as smart as Reed, but Reed is supposedly in the comic book the smartest man on Earth in the Marvel universe.
Right.
So, but Doctor Doom, I mean, in the Tim Story Fantastic Four movie, we saw Doom be able to absorb, project, and manipulate lightning and energy. And the 2015 one, he was just a pile of shit. But Doctor Doom, Doctor Doom was born with Romani was born with magical abilities, right?
Yes.
His mother was a witch. So Doom learned how to master, control, manipulate magic and all that. And when he uses his magical powers, he's a force to be reckoned with. But he also was an expert in science, so he knows he was an expert in both worlds.
Yes. That's what makes him so dangerous and such a great character, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a threat in both the realms of science and magic. And he's very intelligent. But what always holds Doom back is his ego.
Yep.
He has a ginormous ego that has led to him get his ass kicked on so many occasions. Note, I'm not bad-mouthing Doctor Doom. I'm just stating the facts. Like, Doctor Doom is a very powerful, intelligent, and formidable foe. But what leads to his downfall a lot of the times is his ego. He thinks, people are beneath him, but when he gets his ass kicked, he's like, oh, shit. And hopefully if we do get a fight between RDJ's Doom and Tom Hiddleston's Loki, it's a great fight. It's a really good showdown.
I think it will be. I mean, again, that was just this guy's theory, but it makes such complete and total sense. If Doom wants to destroy the multiverse, or actually, it's not even that he wants to destroy the multiverse. I think
he wants to control it and manipulate it in his image.
Yeah, he wants to control it, but he almost picks it. It's almost like he picks up on what He Who Remains was doing. Like, he knows that because of his abilities and what he knows that Kang is kind of like the biggest threat out there. So I think what initially happens is he's trying to eliminate all the timelines where there could be a Kang, and he's getting rid of that council of Kangs. But the way that he goes about it starts causing incursions, and then it ends up with him, like I said, attacking the TVA in the end of it. But
you know what? That's a big possibility. That's a very big possibility. Plus, what do you think of the dog in that movie? Dogpool.
Dogpool, I loved him, dude. He was so ugly, but so perfect at the same time.
The variants of Deadpool I thought were pretty damn good. I
Yeah,
mean, we
I
had
was about to say the Deadpool Corps in general. Now, I didn't really like Nice Pool, but I understand, what they were doing with the character.
Yeah, I didn't really care about Nice Ball. I thought he was annoying as shit.
Yeah, he was annoying, but that was the only one. But dude, like Dog Pool, awesome. Head Pool, awesome.
Lady Pool.
Yeah, Lady Dead. I mean, just the whole Deadpool Corps, like 2 thumbs up. That was awesome to see. And hey, you know what? They say lightning never strikes twice, but Spider-Verse movies gave us all the different Spider-Men, and this movie gave us all the Deadpools. So maybe it does. That was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was done very, very well. The acting overall, I thought was phenomenal. It was good seeing Tyler Mane. Did I mention him? Tyler Mane, the actor that played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie. He played Sabretooth again in Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought he was good with what limited roles he was given. Personally, I wish it was Liev Schreiber, the actor that played him in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, I like Liev Schreiber too, but I have to admit I kind of like seeing Tyler Mane back too. His
look in Deadpool and Wolverine I thought was pretty solid.
Yes. So yeah, it was awesome to see all the cameos from all the past movies. Like, honestly, there was so much buildup and so much talk about all the different cameos in this movie that when I watched the movie, I was actually expecting even more. Like I expected there to be even more cameos than what there was. Probably just because of all the buildup leading up to it.
I felt the same way, to be honest.
But it was awesome. I thought that I knew we weren't going to get Storm because, Halle Berry had come out and commented on how she wasn't really asked to be in this movie. But I thought we would get Cyclops. I thought maybe we would get Beast. I thought we would get more of the original Fox X-Men than what we did. And
I thought so too, but what we got, I thought for the most part, was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it big picture, if they would have gone too far with that, like if they would have brought in too many people, I think maybe it would have watered down the storyline a little bit. So, I'm gonna leave it to Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige. They probably know better than
Kevin Feige.
Than I do. Yeah, they probably knew better than I do what works and what doesn't. So I'll trust their judgment on this one.
So, any closing thoughts? What was your score be?
10 out of 10.
I get the same thing. I know Marcella gave this movie an 8 out of 10, which is a very high score. On a scale from an A+ to a fuck you, I give it an A+. On a scale from 1 to a 10, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie. Thank you, Marvel Studios. Thank you, Disney, for now woking it the fuck up. Thank you very much. And have you seen the trailer for celebrating the 85 years of Marvel?
No, I haven't.
It's a good trailer. It's a very good trailer. It's coming out on Disney Plus soon.
Okay, no, I'll have to check that out. Which, I was actually this morning. I was on Disney Plus. I'm like rewatching all their Netflix series, Daredevil, Punisher.
I still got to finish watching season 2 of Iron Fist, which I heard wasn't very good, but I still want to check it out. I still want to watch season 2 and 3 of Jessica Jones.
You know what? I was about to say Jessica Jones. I probably like better than the Iron Fist one, the way that they did it. I kind of hope that they don't decide to. I mean, I love the fact that they're bringing back Charlie Cox Daredevil, John Bernthal's Punisher. I wouldn't even mind seeing Luke Cage coming back. Jessica Jones is coming back, but Danny Rand's Iron Fist now. I don't want to want to get too much into it because you haven't seen it yet, so I don't really want to spoil it for you. But Colleen Wing is also a version of Iron Fist. Now I could see, I wouldn't mind seeing her come back in that role, honestly. And I kind of like the chick that plays Colleen Wing in that show. She's kind of hot. But well, she is. I don't know I don't know why. I just like her. But
she's a cute woman. I like her too.
yeah.
Listen,
At
man.
any rate, I could if they're gonna bring that character back, I would rather it be her than him. That was by far the weakest of all those Defender characters that they did, and I don't know. I don't know if it was the actor, if it was the writing. I don't know.
think it's mostly the writing and the actors.
Right, like that one just. But man, I'll tell you, the Daredevil shows were great, and the Punisher is, dude, that show's like one of my favorites. God, it is just so brutal.
Daredevil has been a favorite of mine since I was a kid. I liked the 2003 film with Ben Affleck. I loved him, his appearance in the 1994 Spider-Man animated series. I read one comic of his, which I really enjoyed as a kid. Daredevil has always been one of my top 5 favorite Marvel characters. Even when people were shitting on him, which I thought was kind of stupid. Don't get me started on that crap. But when I saw they were doing a Netflix series, I was like, I'm definitely going to watch it. And when I saw the first season, I'm like, oh my God.
You know what? And I've got to say, Charlie Cox probably plays one of the best blind people I've ever seen on screen. Like he did.
Oh, he does without question.
Really good job with that, man. Like, dude, that show's just awesome. In particular, season 2, where he's going up against the Punisher, and
John Bernthal's Punisher is probably my favorite live action Punisher since Thomas Jane's Punisher in the 2004 Punisher movie and in the 2012 short film Dirty Laundry.
Which, true fact, I was in that movie. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What, Dirty Laundry?
No, the Thomas Jane Punisher.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. Were you an extra?
Yeah, an extra, and I mean, honestly, if you didn't know it was me, like I've had to watch it several times before I could even pick myself out, and I'm so far away and in the background that but you know what? It's still cool. You know, it's still cool. But yeah, they filmed a lot of that right here in Tampa.
That's awesome, man. Anyways, so thank you so much, Rickie. It was a blast to review and spoil the hell out of this movie.
It was great. It was a good time. You know, one of the last times I came on your show, you know, after I got offline, I was sitting here talking to my wife, and I was like, you know what? I really needed that. You know, it's great, you know, coming on every day and talking about the Jets and talking about football with all the guys, but it was nice to have a really good informed conversation about something different for a change. Like I really needed that.
That's what my channel brings. See, as much as I love to talk sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, or even hockey, which I've yet to talk about on my channel, I'm also here to let people bring out their inner geekdom, their inner fandom of other things. And I hope you look. It was a great experience reviewing this movie with you, man. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while.
Yeah, I have too. And apologies it took so long. My work schedule is just so crazy.
Oh, don't worry about it, my dude. It's all good in the hood, baby. It's all good in the hood.
Excellent.
Have a great day. God bless you and your family. And I'll see you another time.
All right. I appreciate it, Charles. You have a good night. And if you haven't done it yet, you still got to watch Werewolf by Night. So good.
Okay. Dude. I'll make sure I tune into that.
Dude, it's not bloody or scary at all. And I think you'll really like the way it was filmed and stuff. But Man-Thing, awesome. Awesome. Man-Thing is so awesome.
He has that touch that if you're scared, he'll like burn you or something.
Yeah, like man, I don't even know how to describe it. He's got like this acid touch, like he can grab you and just dissolve you. Which, you know, there might be that, but like like I think people get the wrong idea, like, oh, it's like a horror thing, like, but not really. I mean, it's not particularly bloody or anything like that, but it was just really, really, really well done. I think you'll really enjoy it, man.
I'll probably watch it around Halloween time.
Yeah, I highly, highly recommended. Like I said, I'm a big Man Thing fan, so I was so stoked that we got Man Thing in that. And oh God, I hope they bring his character back, whether it be Midnight Suns or something like.
Yeah, people asked me about this. Charles, when are they doing a Midnight Suns? I said I have no freaking idea.
Hey, I don't know. You know, I've been tweeting about it and tweeting at Kevin and telling him like, you know, we need Norman Reedus Ghost Rider. You know, we need some more of those characters, and we need a Midnight Suns.
Have
absolutely.
you played the game?
Yes.
The Midnight Suns video game? It's a great game. I like it.
Yeah, that right now I'm doing the Ultimate Alliance.
Which one? First one or second one? Or the third one?
Second one.
I have it on Xbox One, and it's a great game. The Ultimate Alliance series is great. It's one of my favorite video game series of all time.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna get rolling, Charles. And thank you so much again for having me. This was a blast. I look.
If you want to do more collaborations like this, please let me know. I'm more than willing to do them.
Absolutely. You know, maybe we'll get together and do another one for the third Venom.
I might have to watch the second one because I haven't seen it yet, but I'll try my best to make sure, you know, I don't get pissed off. Well, I wasn't pissed off with the first one, but let's see how well I hold up with the second one. Because, you know, I'm still.
You know what? It's good. I wasn't crazy about Woody Harrelson's portrayal of
yeah, I heard he sucked, and I couldn't believe because I thought I like Woody Harrelson. I think he's a good actor.
I do too, but like Deadpool's a character where he can be brutal and funny at the same time, and it just works because that's what Deadpool is.
Not Carnage.
Carnage, on the other hand, like there was too much comedy, too much trying to be funny for that character, for my taste, and that's just me. Other people might disagree, but that's just what I thought.
Carnage is a sick bastard.
Man,
yeah. No, what inspired his creation was the Joker.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, what inspired Carnage's creation was DC's Joker. And if you think about Carnage, in a lot of ways, kind of does like the Joker, unpredictable and deadly without the comedic side to him, though.
Yes. Yeah. That's definitely true. And I know that I'll want to do one. I don't know how excited you are for it, and given Sony's track record, I can understand that. But I am really looking forward to the Kraven movie.
No, it's funny. I just watched the Kraven the Hunter episode of the 1994 Spider-Man animated series on Disney Plus. That is how I would have done Kraven, introducing him in a Spider-Man movie. But that's just me. I'm not the one making this crap. But we'll see what the hell goes. Anyways, it was a pleasure talking with you. God bless, and have a great day.
All right, man. Have a great night, Charles.